What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Now, first things first, I do need to apologise just purely down to the fact that I have not picked up the camera in like over 10 days now or something like that, and what feels like ages, but at the same time there's just been literally so much happening, so much travelling happening, and I've actually hardly been home in like the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. Like, there's been so much happening, but so much good stuff happening now. That's one of the biggest things that I do want to take. Obviously, as much as I've not picked up the camera, I've not been travelling for the wrong reasons. There's been just literally so much cool stuff happening, and everything's just been so busy. Training's still been on point, which again is obviously one of the biggest things, but made the point obviously to make this video today. Now, I'll speak about how obviously I was a little bit hesitant to make this video obviously later on in the video. As you will be able to see by the thumbnail, realistically you guys are only here for one reason and one reason only, so you don't really care about training or eating or anything like that today. But nevertheless, we are on first meal right now, which is 120 grams of oats today. We are on arms today as well, so again we've also got some chicken that's going in right now. I don't know if you can see that there, and we also have got some pre-prep sweet potato. Of course, guys, we're around 5 weeks into prep now, so just a little update from me. I will cover this as brief as possible, and then obviously we'll get on with the rest of the video. So I have dropped around 4.5 kilo now. We're around 5 weeks into prep, and everything's going very well. I mean, literally hardly any changes have been made to my diet, just purely down to the fact that my body's responding very well, and of course that's really what we need at this point. We're around 24.5 weeks from the first show, which is pretty weird because obviously I remember like doing a video a few weeks ago and it was like 28 or 29 weeks out, so obviously things are going very quick, which is obviously a good thing. Prep is going in very quick, although sometimes it can get to the point where it will just drag, and I know that it will get to that point, but at the same time we are coping with it very well right now. No cravings, no hunger, obviously, because food's still very high. Like, that's one of the biggest things that I need to always take into consideration, that I'm not dieting on literally no food, which obviously is a pretty big part of my off season being successful in terms of me being able to push my food up very high. So obviously we have gave ourselves a lot of time in which we will be able to keep food nice and high, of course, which I think is a very vital part of any natural bodybuilder's prep. Is give yourself enough time, just because you want to be able to diet on as much food as you can. Like, that is literally probably the biggest part to a natural bodybuilder's prep, just purely because we want to be able to maintain, if not all muscle tissue. Like, literally you could say next to it, but you want to literally maintain all muscle tissue, which again is the biggest goal. And my arm's getting so sore holding this camera right now. I think that's like me just on prep. But yeah, just give yourself enough time. That's what we've done this year. We've took literally how long we took in 2020, and we've added on a few weeks to that just so we can keep food nice and high. So I think that's a vital part that any natural bodybuilder, any youngster should take towards their prep, is just give yourself enough time. Don't underestimate it, because the second you do that, you are chasing your tail, you're aggressively cutting, you're losing all your muscle, and that's not the goal. So we're going to crack on with this video, guys. I hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, then of course please do not forget to drop the video a like for me, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let's get on with this day. One thing, guys, I must admit, oats has vastly became my most favourite meal of the day. So that's took what, 5 weeks into prep. Oats is now my most favourite meal of the day. I don't actually eat them sticky AF anymore either. They are not the runniest, but they are a lot, well, I mean, that is pretty runny actually, to be fair. That's actually a poor effort for me, but I am going to absolutely enjoy these more than ever because they've became my most favourite meal of the day. I'm not at the point yet where I'm eating with a baby spoon. That is, funnily enough, just a normal size spoon. Don't know how big or small my hand's going to make that, but anyway, oats became most favourite meal of the day, and yes, I will catch up with you guys in the next clip. So guys, I am assuming that most of you have clicked on this video purely just down to me posting a clickbaity thumbnail of me getting a new car. Now, I'm going to admit it, I was pretty hesitant at making this video, and I was pretty hesitant at just kind of the thoughts of making this video, just because of the kind of, like, with everything that's happening in the world right now, and obviously everything that's kind of happened over the past kind of few years. And I also don't want this to just be one of them videos that every YouTuber makes whenever they get a new car, and it's an epic way of, like, admittedly it is a very good, obviously, content creation idea and all that kind of stuff, all that kind of jazz, but at the same time, that's absolutely not the purpose of why I'm making this video. Now, I was hesitant, like I said, at making it, but I also have been thinking to myself, like, literally I was meant to film on the day that I got the car, and I never, just because I was kind of like putting myself off a little bit, and then I was like, no,
you know something, film it and obviously be able to showcase what you've worked hard to be able to achieve and be able to get. But at the same time, it's like I also was in two minds of doing that, because it's like I know that this video is going to have like half and half. There's going to be half of the people who are going to be interested in the car and who are going to be a little bit supportive, and then you're also going to get the other half there's going to be a lot of people that's going to like the video and a lot of people that's going to dislike the video. But at the same time, I've been thinking to myself over the past kind of couple of days that I want to showcase my journey, and I want to take you guys on my journey with me, because of obviously everything that I've done already, and not in a successful way, but what I've done to try and level up my career, and obviously level up my career within bodybuilding, within coaching, just within absolutely everything I do. So I thought, you know something, just bite the bullet, make the video, and that is what we're going to do. So of course I upgraded my car. Now, as you would have seen, like if you go back to like my videos around the kind of potentially a year and a half ago or something like that, you would have seen me drive about in a little Fiesta. Now that was my first ever car. It was a little 1.25 style Fiesta, and I absolutely loved it. Like, arguably, if you could take me back to that car right now, I would go back to 110%. I modified it, I done everything I could to try and make it as flashy as possible, and to be fair, I just loved it. And that was what got me to A to B. That got me to the gym every single day, that got me to work every single day, to school, everything. To be fair, it was a very, I don't know, there's still that little emotional attachment to that car, and I'll never say there's not. But then we kind of moved towards the Ford Focus side of things, and obviously that was just a slight upgrade from the Fiesta. So of course I was what you could classify as a Ford man. I'll always be a Ford man. I'm a very big fan of Ford cars, and that'll always be the thing. But at the same time, it was like that was what we upgraded to, so I upgraded to a Ford Focus. Again, done it all up, and then unfortunately was involved in a serious car accident. Now again, like I said, I'm going to take you guys on my journey, and that was something that I never ever brought up. And I'm not going to go into detail. I'm absolutely not going to go into detail about it right now, but it unfortunately happened, and I lost the car. So then we had to move across, and realistically I did need something pretty quick because of obviously my work and because of travelling to get to the gym and all that. I needed something relatively quick, but I was always a fan of Range Rovers. Now, it was just a case of the size of the cars, the bigness of the cars, and not even necessarily the speed, because obviously the Range Rover Evoque that I had before I got this car was obviously not the quickest car on the planet. Don't get me wrong, it was alright, and it had a bit of power about it. It was nice and comfy, it was big, and I think that was what I liked more about it. It wasn't really opting for the kind of the power side of things. So obviously we got that, but over time I've just kind of thought to myself, you know something, it's not really it. And I wasn't, not that you should have to get into a car and know that that's the one, but I was able to work to a place where I was financially stable enough to be able to do that. So to be able to jump in the car and actually jump into a car that I really like, I really want, and I was jumping into the Evoque every single day, and it just wasn't it. And I then decided I'm going to have to get something a little bit bigger, a little bit more powerful, and that's why we've ended up with the Range Rover Velar. So this, I've had it a couple of days now, and don't get me wrong, like I'm still pretty mind blown with the power behind it. Like, inside the car, outside the car, this thing has just got absolutely everything.
Raider.
But the biggest thing, like I said, why I was hesitant in making this, because I don't want to come across as this kind of cocky guy that's like got all of this money and I've just went out and spent it on a car. I don't want to be like that, and that's never going to be the purpose of this video, and it's never ever going to be the purpose of this channel. But what I want you guys to be able to take from this is, if you really fucking work towards something and you actually just graft and put the time into something, you will achieve. You will achieve. Whether it takes 5 years, whether it takes 10 years, whether it takes 20 years, you absolutely will achieve. You only have to apply time and effort towards what you do, and that is literally all I have done since the very start. Like, don't get me wrong, taking me back obviously to the little Fiesta, that got me from A to B. I had it for years and years and years. I think I actually ended up having it for around 4 years, and I couldn't fault it one bit. Don't get me wrong, it had its problems, it had its good days, it had its bad days, but I could not fault it one bit. And I think working towards something is vital in this day and age, because if you don't work towards something, you will just settle for a kind of average lifestyle, and what you could say of, you will just end up working for somebody, you will just settle for one specific wage, you will just settle for whatever you've got going on around you, and realistically all that's going to do is make a lot of other people happy, and you're just going to make yourself unhappy. And I absolutely, like, I really despise the thought of me just making other people happy and me not being happy myself. Like, I have been in very bad places, and I've been in places where I've been very, very, very unhappy, and it's not a nice place to be. Like, don't get me wrong, it's probably one of the worst places to be ever, and to know that I'm unhappy just makes things 10 times worse. So I really think that having a goal is vital here. Like, not even having a goal of a car, but having a goal just to apply time to and apply effort to is really going to take you a long way, and that's what I want everybody to take from this video. Like, I have been at the very start, I have been absolutely broke to hell and had absolutely nothing. Do you know what I mean? And it isn't even a video to be like, right, yeah, look at me now, I've got all of this, I've got like a nice car and that. It is literally just a little bit of value for you guys to be able to take from it, and that is literally just work, just effort. Like, literally I worked since I was like 12-year-old, and I've not really, like, even moving into the coaching business, like, you don't really have any days off, do you know what I mean? You're always doing something. I'm not gonna pure waffle on for ages and ages and ages, but we did head up to Inverness very early, so obviously we are in Durham right now, headed across to Inverness on Saturday morning and picked up the car, and yeah, that is literally it. I've just done it, I've made the video, and I think it's just one of them things that's going to have to be, I'm going to try and take you guys on my full journey as we go on. Like, obviously we're competing this year and that as well, you know that, but I think anything that does happen, I tried to kind of do it with my Focus a long time ago, or not even a long time ago, last year when I had it, but I just couldn't, I literally couldn't do it. I don't know what it was, I just couldn't bring myself to make a video of being in a position to get myself something nice that I actually like, and I don't know why. Some people would say you shouldn't make them, some people would say no, you absolutely should make them, but I've went and done it, so this is what we picked up. I am over the moon with it, I'm so happy with it, and yeah, it's just one of these things that I think is going to take a long time to get sick of. And that's another thing as well, like, whenever you get things like cars and that, you are going to have that kind of, you're going to have that kind of honeymoon period of where everything's just going to be absolutely perfect and you're just going to love it to bits and all that kind of stuff, and then it's just going to become a car at the end of the day. I mean, that's one of the things as well, but I am very happy, and it's been a very nice investment to be able to make in getting this, and I genuinely couldn't be happier. So this is going to be the daily brief for the foreseeable, and this is going to get us around the country because there's a lot of travelling going on, and if I'm being honest, I wouldn't like it to be in any other vehicle, what you could say, but that's really all it's going to be for this part of the video. I will obviously get into a lot more stuff in the next clips, but we are going to head to the gym today. I did have legs yesterday and it was filmed for the Natural Bodybuilding Worldwide website, so that is going to be going live. The membership website is going to be going live I think around June time, so of course we are building up content for that. That is going to be good to get out and obviously get as much content out as possible, as much value out to you guys as possible throughout the natural bodybuilding world. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling on now. I need to go home, cook some food and get ready for the gym.